Yes! Today we celebrate because Ethereum has reached the price target we set for that big W breakout. Bitcoin also made a big move, breaking over its major line of resistance. We'll check in on CARDANO, which continues to move toward our price target over $2. The overall crypto market certainly looks very bullish, but will things continue that way? All that and more next.
Wow.
All right, Ethereum has simply exploded over the past week. As you recall, we had this giant W pattern we've been talking about for a while now. Actually, let's go back and play the video from a week ago when I was first talking about how we were on the verge of the breakout from this W pattern. We've been talking about this potential big W pattern that's forming over a period of about 6 to 7 weeks here. This is massive. It's really clear it's a W pattern. And the neckline was here around $2,400. So that's what we've been looking for. When that breaks out, when that breaks up, the price target will be all the way up around 3,100, 3,150. Okay, so as you see, we perfectly met our price target. Our target was up here around 3,150, and we've blown past that. We reached as high as 3,180 as of this recording. What should we expect next? Well, looking at the 4-hour chart here, again, we've been rising really nicely over the last week or two here. After we had the breakout from the W pattern, our first line of resistance was this 2630 level. So we were talking about breaking through that. It took us a bit to break through. We finally did. And then the next level we were looking at was this $2,900 level, which if you go back in time, you can see here, lots of points of resistance here, the $2,900 level for Ethereum. So we were wondering how quickly we could break through it, and it turns out, I mean, it was pretty easy, right? So we were talking about it, the last couple of days, and we went through in our first attempt, really. So amazing breakthrough for Ethereum, right through that area, right through that line of resistance, all the way up to meet our price target from the W breakout. And now we have to ask, what happens next? So yesterday we talked about this volume profile and how once we broke above this $2,900 level, we had really smooth sailing because the level of volume here is much less than we went through down here. So theoretically, it should be easy to move much higher and even try to recapture the $4,000 mark that we set before. But keep in mind, we've moved really quickly over the span of 2 weeks to reach this level. We were down here around $1,700 on July 20th, and now here we are at over $3,100. So a huge increase in a very short period of time here. So my expectation is we have to see some sort of consolidation. We have to catch our breath a little bit before we move higher. Even though we don't have much upper resistance here from a volume standpoint, it makes much more sense that we cool off a little bit here. I would expect at the very least we should retest this support line at 2,900. That is a minimum. That would be good to do, and maybe stay in this zone for at least a few days. Don't be surprised, though, if we actually fall back down and find support at this 2630 level again. That would also be perfectly healthy. You can see here on the 4-hour chart, the EMA ribbon goes down to this point. On the daily chart, EMA ribbon starts around 2,400, 2,500. So I'd be looking at that 4-hour chart and looking for some sort of retest to at least the top of the EMA ribbon, which right now would be around 2,800, 2,816 over the next day or two. And I think that'll be the healthiest thing that can happen. What we don't want to see is just one straight shot up to $4,000, and then we're going to probably see a much steeper decline and correction. So the healthy thing would be we consolidate or correct either down to here or potentially down to here, consolidate some more, then move back up towards $4,000. And that next leg up could still be quick after that. So if you're not in Ethereum right now, I would say now is not a good time to go long because we've seen this huge run up. Theoretically, yes, it could continue, but the odds are greater that we're going to see some sort of pullback. If you have been in Ethereum, let's say you've been riding this wave up, now might be a good time to take some profits if you're not in it for the long term, and look to get back in when we drop down here a little bit. And of course, if you're a long-term holder, it doesn't matter whether you got in here, or you've been in this whole time, or you want to get in now. If you've got a long-term perspective, it's a great time to buy because ultimately, in my opinion, we're going to be going much higher. So it really depends on what your investment goals are. If you're a swing trader or a short-term trader, though, I don't think I'd be getting in. At this point, I'd be waiting for some sort of pullback. Let's also check in on the Ethereum to Bitcoin price. I've been talking about this for a while, too, how Ethereum to Bitcoin broke out of this triangle pattern August 1st, roughly. And our target from this breakout is all the way up here around 8.6 cents or 8.6% of Bitcoin. And you've seen we've had some nice healthy movement here, bouncing off the EMA ribbon here in the 4-hour chart. And currently we're up around 7.1 cents or 7.1% of Bitcoin. So we've got a little bit ways to go, but we're making nice progress. And this is why I expect Ethereum to outperform Bitcoin in the near term here anyway, until we can reach this price target. All right, let's take a look at Bitcoin. So as you recall, we had this big breakout from this descending triangle pattern, which kicked off, July 21st or so. And our ultimate target from this breakout is all the way up here around 51,000. But we've been talking for the last couple weeks now about how this $41,500 line is a big resistance point for Bitcoin, because you can see, stretching all the way back here, we've got lots of areas of resistance that we'd have to deal with. So we knew this was the major point of resistance before we can go up towards our major price point here. And we had a couple attempts at it that failed. But yesterday we broke through and got above this $41,500 level fairly decisively. So that's good to see. Now that we're breaking above this, though, I do not expect this to be a quick move up to 51,000, just because there's still quite a bit of resistance here. If we put in the volume profile, you can see, up to about 46 is a pretty light zone. But then above that, we've got some more areas of resistance to get through here. So I don't expect to see a super quick move up to 51K, though you never know, of course. And more than anything, though, I would expect potentially a retest of this $41,500 mark one time to validate the upturn before we can move higher. So, but definitely yesterday is a momentous day because we conclusively broke through this resistance line. If we look at the EMA ribbon, this is the 4-hour chart, you can see it's really held price support pretty well here. We're now well above the ribbon. The EMA ribbon actually is sitting right here at the resistance line. So I'm definitely expecting some sort of test of this line again, and it'll probably come down to this EMA ribbon. And that's when we have to see. Hopefully we bounce off that and either consolidate some more up here or move higher. But do not be surprised if we see some sort of retest of this area. Looking at the daily chart for Bitcoin, again, looks really healthy. We moved up quickly, hit this resistance wall, moved back down, and now we're moving above it. And as I said, we could see another retest here before hopefully moving higher. All right, let's take a look at Cardano. On Twitter yesterday, I mentioned this bullish RSI divergence, where here you can see price trending down. Of course, this was yesterday, so this price action wasn't here, but you could see price trending down a little bit, whereas the RSI was trending up. So this is the daily chart, so a little bit of a bullish divergence, not major, but a little bit of a bullish divergence here for Cardano. But overall, we continue to see a nice rising ascent here after this breakout from this giant descending triangle pattern. So our target from this breakout here is all the way up to this line around $2.08. So again, we've got a ways to go. I do expect we're going to see this this mark here at some point. Keep in mind we do have some resistance here from a volume standpoint, from a prior volume standpoint. So we're about here in the volume profile, and you can see there's still a good chunk of resistance here to work through on our way back up here. Now, once we get past, this $1.75, $1.80 standpoint, things start to get a little bit easier for Cardano, but I don't expect the move up is going to be super rapid for Cardano. But it's just a matter of time. This does look very, very healthy, and I expect we'll see a $2.08, $2.10 Cardano here at some point over the next month at the very least. So that'll do it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. It's obviously a great day for crypto right now after the huge breakouts we've seen across the board since yesterday, and really over the last week or two. It's been an amazing run. As I stated, especially for Ethereum, I would not be surprised to see some sort of cool-off period here over the next day or two. Hopefully, at least in my opinion. I think we need to cool down a little bit before taking the next major leg up for some of these coins. Also, a side note, I won't be doing any videos for the next week. I'll be back in about a week. So sorry about that, but I will still be on Twitter, so look for those updates there. And if you did find this interesting, please like it, subscribe, get notifications, and most of all, share this with your friends.